person, but at least we can see each other, and that's how it makes such more happy and much better wherever we are at right now. Namaskar Abhijit. So and आप लोग अपने माइक बस ऑफ ही रखिएगा until unless you have a question, please raise your hand because कई बारी वॉइस का इशू आ जाता है, and I hope that I am audible properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Earlier somebody has mentioned that voice is not coming properly, so I thought it's better to ask. अच्छा, जो आज का हमारा टॉपिक है, if anybody has some query regarding this, please you can start from that one also. That's another way to start the webinar, but otherwise I'll start, and in between if you have some queries, please raise your hand. Because today's topic is such a topic where I think most of us are aware that what gratitude is, but we don't pay much attention to it, that how it's really helps in our life. Because and today what we are going to learn, sorry, let me share the screen. I hope everybody can see it. Vaibhavi, can you see it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, today's topic is this, and it's full screen or what? I'm not able to make it.
Yeah, it's on full screen.
It's okay, then it's fine. So, antidote to dissatisfaction. What does it mean actually, and how gratitude is going to help us when we are not happy, we are not satisfied, we are not comfortable, or wherever we are in our life, but certainly we are not happy with ourselves, with people whom we are living, or with in our relationship, in our career, and the kind of person we are. So today what we are going to do, we are going to learn the phenomena of basically gratitude and how it has been manifested itself in various contexts of your life, its importance and its benefits in human relation and self-improvement. And we'll be also learning some of the things of technique, how you're going to incorporate gratitude practice in your life so that we can go ahead. And I love this quote, and I would like to really admit that earlier, even I was not a kind of person who would be grateful for everything. I mean, I'm talking about long back, probably maybe when I was in my teenage, but when I started all these things, therapy and all these things, and I realized how important it is for all of us. So if the only prayer you ever said was thank you, that would be enough. And I think हम कहीं ना कहीं सब, छोटी हो बड़ी हो, किसी भी तरीके की प्रेयर हो, हम किसी भी रिलीजन को मानने वाले हो, हम सब कुछ ना कुछ प्रेयर करते हैं, और उस प्रेयर में अगर हम एक छोटा सा अपनी कृतज्ञता का भाव भी अगर लेके आए, that would be amazing. And it's my humble request from everyone today that please try to do that at least. And I'll tell you how we are going to do that otherwise in our life. So first of all, this is all I have already explained that what we are going to learn. First, let's just talk about what gratitude is. So is there anyone who can tell कि आपको क्या लगता है कि gratitude क्या है? Anybody, please, very quickly, because until unless things are not going to be interactive, I think it's no more fun. And that's how I come to know that yes, whatever I'm saying is making sense to everyone. So please feel free, raise your hand, unmute yourself and just communicate. देखिए, जो आप ग्रैटिट्यूड समझते हैं और जो मैं ग्रैटिट्यूड समझती हूँ और जो किताबों में लिखा है, हो सकता है वो तीन अलग अलग चीजें हों, बट भाव सबका एक ही होगा. सो अगर आपको लगता है कि कहीं मैं गलत ना बोलूं, प्लीज डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट.
Hi ma'am, good evening. Myself Prithvi. I believe gratitude is something which is a feeling inside, because it is not learned by anyone. Because if anyone do something good to us, and we must have a feeling that we also do something favor to them.
Okay, thank you, Prithvi. I think that's a very beautiful way to narrate what gratitude is and how I am going to, like he said, it's a feeling. So yes, obviously gratitude is a very, very positive emotion that involves being thankful and appreciative and is associated with several many more how it is going to help in our mental, physical, spiritual, you name it. And I think if you're going to develop the attitude of gratitude, it's going to really, really helpful. And you feel grateful for something or someone in your life and respond with a feeling of kindness, warmth, and other form of generosity. That's how. I'm not going to quote any kind of dictionary definition here, but this is just how I take it, how other people generally, how it making sense to other people. And it has so many different meanings depending how others use it, how we use it, and in what context we are using it basically. So it can have so many different meaning, like Pradvi ne ek batai, I'm telling you the another one. But in general terms, gratitude stems from the recognition that something has happened to you, and which is further accompanied by an appraisal that someone, whether anyone individual or it's a group or it's an organization or some interpersonal source, and at times it seems that it's a nature or a divine entity was responsible for it. And then something happens, we feel that there is something is happening within our heart, and that is the kind of warmth or you feel something is melting and you feel so good about the person or the organization or the individual or the community जिन्होंने भी आपके साथ या आपके लिए वो किया होता है, आपके दिल में एक different feeling ही generate होती है. So, and it's a kind of recognition of unearned increment of values of one's life. That's how I take it. Another thing, what we as the topic is saying, that it's an antidote. So I'll say gratitude an antidote rather than anybody else. And I think ये Piglet और Pooh का तो सबने बहुत ज़्यादा देखा होगा, if I'm not wrong here. So Piglet noticed that even though he has a very small heart, it could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. It doesn't matter who you are, what your position is, आप किस स्टेटस के हैं, आप किस रिलीजन या रेस, बिकॉज नाउ डेज रिलीजन, रेस, जेंडर, नो जेंडर, ये चीजें कुछ ज्यादा ही हम यूज करते हैं और इन चीजों को लेके हम ज्यादा इश्यूज भी बनाते हैं. सो इट डजंट मैटर, एनीबडी कैन have this attitude of gratitude for their life or for the people who have done something with them. How it is going to help us in our life, that is the most important thing here. It can help us it's an antidote in so many different ways. How it is going to teach, help in emotions and feeling wise and socially, in our personality enhancement, in our career, health, motivation, and the most important thing, in our recovery, whether it is physical or mental health. And nowadays, I think mental health is on the top, and we keep listening and keep hearing and keep reading about all the things, that how gratitude is so important, but we hardly really talk about how it's working basically. Or probably आप में से कुछ लोग aware भी होंगे that how it is working exactly. So first I would like to talk about gratitude and emotion. And when we talk about gratitude and emotion, I think all of us have seen that when grateful people are more skillful at coping with stress and regulating their emotion. Now, before we go ahead, I would like to ask rather, can someone tell me what are the signs of the gratitude? Though I thought I'll talk it later, but I think it's making more sense that if we are really going to recognize that, to what extent I am grateful for some of the things. So do you think, are there some sort of signs how we can really identify that to what extent I'm a grateful person, or to what extent the other person is grateful, or something like that? Anyone, please. I would love to know. Yes, Ravi ji, please. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है. I cannot hear you.
Yes.
Hanji, yes, now you are audible. Yes, please.
I am passing through a garden. I see bed of roses.
Yes.
I just pause for a minute and think over it and look to the sky. That is gratitude.
Yes, that is, yes, absolutely, and that is an amazing answer for it. कि whatever is there, जरूरी नहीं कि वो कोई organization हो, कोई person हो. It can be anything, anyone, anywhere. And this is the sign. So I think हम सबको थोड़े बहुत sign पता है. We are going to talk about it a little later, that how you can really identify in yourself and in other people that to what extent they are grateful. But here first we are going to talk about how it is going to strengthen our emotional intelligence. Let's put it like that. So as I was sharing, that grateful people are more skillful at coping with stress and regulating their emotions. Being in this mode, having the attitude of gratitude or feeling grateful can bring us a variety of benefits, including better mental health and physical health and improved relationships, certainly. We tend to think of gratitude as an emotion we experience when things are going well, one that is closely associated with well-being and contentment. But does it serve any purpose when life isn't rosy? Do you think when things are happening really good and very nice, then only we can be grateful? और जब हमारी लाइफ अच्छी नहीं होती है तभी आपको लगता है कि हम एटीट्यूड जो है अपना ग्रैटिट्यूड का वो डेवलप कर सकते हैं? Or probably do we still need to have that gratitude in our life so that we can really flourish ourselves or thrive in our life? Just yes or no would be sufficient, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Sangeeta. I haven't read the text, but humble and grounded, that is perfectly all right, dear. कई बारी क्या होता है जब हमारी लाइफ अच्छी नहीं जा रही होती है, then we start cursing either to the nature, to our beloved, to our spouses, and to anyone. And one reason that gratitude is so powerful, even when our life is not rosy and not everything is going in the right direction or something like that, it helps us to manage our difficult and negative emotion in such an efficient and wonderful manner. When we feel grateful, we might be better at coping stressful, negative, and frustrating situation. How? Researchers are showing that it has a useful function when really life is hard. Because जब हमारी life अच्छी नहीं होती है तब हमें लगता है कि अब तो there is nothing good. Do I really need to be grateful? क्योंकि जब कुछ अच्छा जा ही नहीं रहा है तो मुझे grateful होने की जरूरत क्या है? And to whom? And why? Because nothing is happening right in my life. I cannot think about some better way for myself. But believe me, grateful people tend to cope with the stress in a smarter way and regulate their negative emotions more skillfully. Believe me, they do it in a much, much better way. So when we are under stress, there are a variety of possible ways we can cope, some healthier than others. Because जो लोग gratitude होते हैं, जिनका attitude होता है, those who really follow or practice on the regular basis how to be grateful or how to admire. जैसे रवि जी ने एक बहुत छोटा सा example दिया कि you are just walking in a park and there are just the roses, maybe not the bed of roses, it's just a few bunches of plants or shrubs are there of roses, and you just look at them and you just smile and look at the sky. So you are just thanking to the nature आपको किसी बड़ी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है, बट अगर आपके अंदर वो एटीट्यूड है एंड यू थिंक दैट यू आर नॉट डूइंग वेल एंड यू आर जस्ट आउट, प्रॉब्ली इट्स when you are looking at the beauty, when you are looking at the nature. What I am trying to emphasize here, probably what is running inside your subconscious mind or maybe conscious mind, for the time being वो pause हो जाता है, उसका जो प्रोसेसिंग है वो थोड़ी स्लो हो जाती है। एंड जैसे ही वो स्लो होती है, आपका जो पैरासिम्पैथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम है वो फिर से दोबारा अपने काम पे आ जाता है, जो कि स्ट्रेसफुल सिचुएशन में सप्रेस हो जाता है या हम उसको सप्रेस कर देते हैं, एंड वी आर नॉट एबल टू पे अटेंशन दैट व्हाट इज देयर इन आवर लाइफ व्हिच स्टिल मेक्स सो मच सेंस टू अस। एंड बिलीव मी, there are, this is not the only advantage we have, there are many more advantage, and I use in my therapy session a lot like silver lining. I think जिनकी मेरे से कभी कभी बातचीत होती है, they must know what I'm talking, a technique which we people called as positive reframing. Even if something is not happening in a right way, try to see what is the message behind it, what is trying to communicate. And those people who are really following or practicing gratitude in any form, we'll talk about the ways how we can cultivate or harness this gratitude in our life. आप कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं आपके अंदर embody हो चुका होता है, एंड जब आपको जरूरत पड़ती है, इट्स लाइक जस्ट कि आपका वो ऑटो मोड ऊपर आ जाता है ऑटोमेटिकली, यू जस्ट नीड टू बी देयर, and that's all what is required. I know it's tough initially, it takes a little time, but after some time you will realize that yes. And people who are really doing this, they share their experience that they are less likely to disengage themselves, that they are not going to solve their problem, और अगर कुछ अच्छा नहीं हो रहा है कि हमें तो इसके बारे में बात ही नहीं करनी है क्योंकि कुछ ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता है, but they have a variety of ways to solve their problem, not just one way, because they think there must be something which I am not able to look at it, and that is the true meaning of the silver lining. अगर बादल हैं, बहुत घने बादल हैं, तो उसमें भी कभी कभी बिजली होती है, उसका क्या मतलब होता है, that is what it means here. Even something is not good, how I am going to make sense that something is there behind it. Probably at right now I am not able to make sense, but I know if I am going to be here and be grateful that whatever is happening, just be more tolerant. I'm going to be myself and just give myself a little pause. I know how things are going to make sense to me. Another very thing, जिनकी हेल्थियर लाइफ स्टाइल होती है या जो इस तरीके से सिल्वर लाइनिंग या पॉजिटिव रिफ्रेमिंग की तरीके से सोचते हैं, वन पॉसिबिलिटी इज दैट दे हैव अ हेल्थियर स्टाइल ऑफ कोपिंग विद देयर लाइफ, व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग इन देयर लाइफ irrespective. And one possibility is that gratitude essentially lead people to see that the world through their rose colored glasses, which means their perception of the world as a hospitable place may likely lead to an increased willingness to deal actively with the problem. Because उन्हें ये नहीं लगता है कि सब कुछ बुरा ही है, सब कुछ खराब ही है। उनके हिसाब से whatever, अगर आपने स्पेक्स लगाए हैं एंड वो स्पेक्स सपोजिंगली हाइपोथेटिकली आपका ग्रैटिट्यूड स्पेक्स है, सो ऑब्वियसली आपको कुछ ना कुछ चीजें तो वहां पे पॉजिटिव दिखाई ही देंगी. इफ probably just 1%, maybe 1/4% total in the 100%. So even if you are able to see and you see that it's still better, it's not that so bad, that thing is really going to motivate you, and it will inspire you to move on further, and you're going to be more optimistic, and you're going to solve the problem in a much successful way, rather than when we are not grateful. And it has certainly, when we are in this mode, certainly we are going to, it's going to affect our mental state, because अगर चीजें ठीक नहीं होती हैं, then obviously we are going to fall for all those kind of things. We are anxious, we are not feeling good, we are feeling low, or so many other things are there. तो हमारा जो reaction भी होता है events के लिए, जो मैं टीच करती हूँ बेसिकली रिस्पॉन्स वर्सेस रिएक्शन, वो आपका रिस्पॉन्स ही होता है, वो रिएक्शन नहीं होता है. Though the situation is negative, but if then only if we are going to uh, carry the attitude of gratitude. So that is the very important thing here. It makes us more patient. कि हम चीजों का वेट कर सकते हैं. You must have heard the delay of gratification kind of phenomena, जहाँ पे अगर हमें कोई चीज हम postpone करते हैं, those people who are not grateful, they are not able to postpone things. They need it then and now. But people who are grateful, they have this capacity. And there are a lot of studies, though we're not talking about here any more studies or researches, but though I will just like to share something here that जो बच्चे जिनका डिले ऑफ ग्रेटिफिकेशन अच्छा होता है चाइल्डहुड में, दे आर गोइंग टू बी मोर सक्सेसफुल एंड they have much more ability to handle the stress and anxiety when they are adult. It's a longitudinal study. We're not talking about studies, but this is just a phenomena which has been observed, things like this. And these kind of people, they require their hot means more emotional, more intense, more overwhelming kind of thoughts and feeling ways with the cool kind of thinking. Otherwise, because हम उस चीज को different perspectives से नहीं देख पाते, हम एक ही लाइन पे चलते रहते हैं. And when we are walking just on a single line, obviously if you're looking for the different result, you have to walk on a different path. But if you keep walking on the same path, probably it will be difficult for you to not get the same result. I mean, you'll get the same result. If you're looking for the different result, you have to walk on the different path. And at times it might seem how paradoxical to think about things we're grateful for in more stressful situation. People who really do this, they experience a variety of benefit. And I'm 100% sure if you two are going to follow, or if you're already following this, you must have experienced it by then now. And it provides a healthier coping, a greater sense of social support, less negative emotion, and less impatience, which is really very, very important. And we need to develop it. We all of us have actually. इसके लिए आपको कुछ सीखने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है. But yes, we need to know that how we are going to bring it in our daily life so that we can practice it regularly, so that it can come handy. It makes us happier. It increases our psychological well-being. It enhances our positive emotion. It enhances our self-esteem. Or empathy. Here, empathy is a very important factor, because I was just talking in the beginning that gratitude and emotion, rather than talk about emotional intelligence, and empathy is a major part of it. Though we are not talking in a psychological term here, but empathy for a layman is just like that. You're putting yourself in other person's shoes. And if you are really grateful, I think that's the major plus point what I have seen. If you are empathetic, if you can understand what the other person is going through, I think that's an amazing thing for the other person who is really going through. And if you're going to be there, because then you don't know that what kind of things are, how you have helped the other person without knowing that you have helped the other person. And because you understand the situation or the person's thought and feeling in comparison to other people who are not as empathetic as you are, obviously you're likely to be less aggressive. So there are no more anger. Though anger is a natural emotion, I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm just saying how these things are going to work in a positive ways. Any question here, please? Or आपका अगर कोई thought है, please, I would love to hear. I am conducting the webinar, but doesn't mean that I'm not willing to learn. I'm willing to learn here. And I think I'll be really grateful if you guys are going to share something which is really important, and you think that this also come under this, or this might come. Please share your views. Because जब खत्म हो जाता है वेबिनार, I think उस समय तक कई बार हमारे पास टाइम नहीं होता है, and we won't be able to talk. So I think this is the best way. No one? Okay, then I think I'll proceed further. The another very important aspect is gratitude and social aspects, how it is helping in our social life, in our relationship, whether it's a husband-wife relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a friendship, it's community services, it's social support, whether it is going to strengthen your family relationship when there is too much of stress or chaos. There are so many things. And receiving social support during stress can have a positive psychological impact. And additionally, gratitude is associated with increased perception of support and strengthen social relationship, which is very, very important. We all want a happy life, a great job, a perfect family, financial stability, and a great social life. And in this indefinite pursuit of happiness, at times that is almost like a mirage. How often do we spare a minute to thank what we already have at this moment? I think this is really a very important thing here. And it may sound corny, but researchers, studies and researches here, they demonstrate that you would be happier if you cultivate an attitude of gratitude. And there are lots and lots of evidences which suggest that being grateful despite your circumstances can improve every single area of your life, not just one area of your life, and can bring in many more things what you're grateful for. At times, the universe listens. If you are a, I don't know whether I can really relate it with the spiritualism or something, or spirituality or not. But at times some कहते हैं ना, good vibe, bad vibe, and whatever you're thinking, they're going in the universe, and the same kind of things are coming back to you. So the universe listens when you express it and respond it by providing you with more things to be grateful for. That's the magic. And that's really magic. How it happens, even I have no idea. But that happens somehow, even I have realized that. And as I was saying, that the people who are grateful, they have very, very good relationship, because they are able to recognize the good that someone else bring to your life, and that will help you to appreciate the person more, and that is going to further strengthen your relationship with the particular person. So that's how it helps you in a better way. And gratitude at times, like if I'm dealing with it sounds probably आपको पता भी होगा, or I don't know how many of you are aware, and it sounds it's probably it's going to be sound a bit weird, but when I'm dealing with the patients with depression, I really teach them gratitude. So I use it as a full-fledged intervention. It's a very, very important, very good tool here. So gratitude interventions such as reflecting on positive daily events or keeping a gratitude journal, especially for the depression patients or in general, whenever you are feeling low, can facilitate social well-being. You can keep a diary or whatever, and it provides you a sense of belonging also. So when we are talking about a sense of belonging, I think it's further going to enhance your social support system here. And certain studies have found when that expression of gratitude by managers motivated their employees to be more productive in daily work. Because जब आप किसी को appreciate करते हैं, आप किसी को acknowledge करते हैं, I think जिसको आप acknowledge कर रहे हैं या appreciate कर रहे हैं, in turns, that's a very big thing for the person, because you don't know the other side of the story, what the person is going through. And merely just acknowledging or passing a simple smile is going to make their day. So this is another thing of, miracle of gratitude. As I was sharing earlier, that it enhances your empathy and reduces your aggression. So it's also, because empathy is the ability to be sensitive toward and understanding people's intentions, thinking, and emotion, what they're going through. So when individuals are empathetic, they are less likely to confrontational and aggressive, because they still see that something is good there. At least if 10 things are there on the row, at least 7 are, if not right, 3 are still right. So that how you're going to see the situation. And then we can work on 7, but we are going to focus here on 3. I'm taking the lesser for the gratitude kind of thing here. And it's going to be, it's a great motivational factor for all of us. It seems because अभी हम सब जिस ये pandemic से गुजरे हैं या अभी भी चल ही रहा है, I won't say कि गुजर चुके हैं. It seems that that's because of the pandemic feeling. This pandemic has really created a kind of chaos in our life, in all of us. And because of this feeling, motivated a bit more challenging for all of us nowadays. Earlier it was not, but now it is really very difficult. So motivation helps push you forward and ahead in life. We are not going to talk about what kind of motivation, whether it is intrinsic or extrinsic, but here basically intrinsic, I'm talking about the intrinsic motivation which comes within you, which comes within us, like when we are not in a good shape, when we are going through something bad, or we are not having a good day even. So using positive self-talk because you want to enjoy a positive mindset is also a sign of gratitude, that you are being grateful towards yourself, because you're not supposed to grateful to others only. You need to be grateful for yourself also, that what kind of things you're providing. Like we generally, you must have heard the statement, food for mind, food for brain. So आप किसको वो provide कर रहे हैं? You are providing those things to yourself only, not to anybody else. And intrinsic one, we kind of we feel like reading good books to our kids. It's not like that is important, or we need to do, or we must do, but it's because it makes us happy when I'm reading stories to my kids, and that is making me inspiring and move forward in my life. Exercising is another example, because exercising because you enjoy, and it makes you feel happy about yourself. So those are the kind of motivations which are coming within you. But here I'm going to talk about few things, and one of the very important things is that when we are talking about gratitude and motivation, your perceptions matter. The way you look at the things, that really matter here. How you view the world, how do you view others and their strength, how you view yourself, what you celebrate and how you celebrate, your identity and others' identity, and its retractable tie with the regular feeling of gratitude. That is very, very important. While gratitude, it cannot, we just cannot, it cannot be forced on anyone, as its impact can be diminished. An individual who regularly engage in a gratitude practice may have more benefit from, besides more positive emotion, minimizing your stress and improved relationship. That individual may also get kind of inspiration within himself or herself, which is really very, very invaluable to the society, for the community service, to work on a large scale. And when we're talking about these kind of things, it's further enhance your accomplishment, can come quicker, you feel more satisfaction, your healing is much sooner. And the another very important thing, that you are creating endless space of constructive joy. Because when we talk about constructive joy, it's just like happiness is there, because most of the time we talk about that happiness is a state of mind. Yes, it's absolutely a state of mind, and you are your own creator of your own happiness. And that's how it happens that constructive joy is a term which we use to simply your ability to create your joy from within through the lens of gratitude. That even things are not good, even things are not going in the right direction, but at least they are not a standstill, they are moving. If we are going to keep that kind of things, I think we can still have those moments, if not 100% अगर आप उसको rate करना चाहेंगे, but at least something is happening, and something is always better than nothing. So as long as you're walking, you're just not standing. I think that's the attitude of gratitude which I'm talking, and that's the constructive joy means here, that you have the ability to create that joy for yourself irrespective of anything. It's also inspire us to do the perform kind of acts for others. It's a thing which really keep pushing, and keep pushing ahead. Just keep going. Whatever is happening, things are going to happen, and it gives a feeling of kind of connectedness, कि हम एक दूसरे से जो connectedness, जो closeness feel करते हैं. How it happens? We believe that feeling grateful compels us to reflect on our relationship and leads us to feel closer and more connected to others. Importantly, they increase closeness, which further helps you motivate and sustain our effort at self-improvement if we think that we really need it. The another very important thing which only brings with the help of gratitude is elevation. We feel elated. We feel that there is some sort of uplifting feeling we get when we see people performing great act of kindness. So even while the other person is doing something good, you're also going to feel good about yourself, because we all are human community. We belong to a bigger community which we hardly pay attention on that. And you also feel that the same warmth if you are a kind of person who is really practicing gratitude on the daily basis. So it's inspired people to be more generous, moral, you can say moral act, probably yes, that you really inspire, or it inspire people to perform more of a moral act and self-improvement. Another very important thing which really gratitude help us is to bring humility, which I have already taught, that how it makes us more human. And I think this is the miraculous point, and I love this, that how it is going to help us if we are going to harness. And probably few things, agar aapko sense ban nahi, I mean, they're not making any sense to you. So when we are going to further talk about it, I think it will be clear to you sooner. Because when we bring humility, it enable us to see clearly how others have supported us. It may encourage us even to engage in positive behavior such as helping other, bettering ourselves, to pay back the people. And कई बार आपने देखा होगा जब आपकी तबीयत नहीं ठीक होती है, it can be anyone जिसने आपकी हेल्प की है, आप उसके लिए आपके मन में किस तरीके की फीलिंग आती है? You feel so thankful that there was no one and that person has helped so much, and plus indirectly then you feel like working on yourself just because that person is helping. So it encourages kind of self-improvement also for you, that I need to work on myself, because if the other person is having faith in me, I need to work on it. And this is how I'm going to make myself a better person. Because if I'm going to make me better person, आज मेरी किसी ने हेल्प की है, कल मैं किसी की हेल्प करूंगा. But at times सारी अच्छी फीलिंग ही नहीं आती हैं when we talk about the gratitude, and that is an in-depthness. कई बार हमारे पास दिमाग में, हमारे दिल में नेगेटिव फीलिंग भी आती हैं, एंड जिसने हमारे लिए अच्छा किया होता है हमें लगता है वी रियली बहुत बहुत बड़ा बर्डन हो गया है हमारे ऊपर. कई बार हम थैंक यू नहीं बोल पाते हैं कुछ लोगों को, बट आई थिंक इट्स नेवर टू लेट. एंड द मोमेंट यू फीलिंग कि आप सच में किसी के ऋणी हो गए हैं, आई थिंक दैट अवेयरनेस इज द राइट पॉइंट टू कल्टिवेट and to do something which is important for you. Probably आप उसके लिए नहीं कर सकते, but अगर आप किसी और के लिए भी करते हैं, still you are really cultivating that feeling, and soon you will realize that how you can repay the other person. Though it is negative, but it is going to work for you in a positive manner, because it's a pleasant feeling when you're going to do something for other people. The another very important factor is here that it helps in our career. Supposingly you're not things are not going well, आपका एक इंटरव्यू अच्छा नहीं गया, आप वहां पे गए, but again, if you're sitting outside of that lounge, wherever in company or organization, कम से कम ये तो है कि आप यहाँ तक पहुंचे तो I know what I'm talking probably when you're really in that situation is pretty tough. But it is going to be tough when you are going to do, when it is required and you're not practicing it on the daily basis. As I have stated or shared in the beginning only, that these things are going to come handy and in an auto mode when you are going to practice on the daily basis. Then only they can help. Otherwise, really, it's not possible कि आज हमने बात की और कल हम उस मोड में चले जाएं. So there is no switch or something like that. Because when we are talking about career, it is making us more optimistic, more giving, and certainly it can be a game changer for your career. If you are a kind of person, I have stated two examples earlier, that if your manager is understanding and anybody who is working in an organization, or they are appreciating or acknowledging how it affects the other employee of the same department of the other same organization. So it's a very, very incredibly powerful positive emotion that is seldom experienced by so many of us who are really caught up in the day-to-day demands of life, because there are non-ending things are there and we hardly pay attention in that way. It feels us more optimistic that this is not the end, because it's changed how we are going to look at the things. How हमारा जो perception है, हमारा जो तरीका है, हमारा जो दृष्टिकोण है चीजों को देखने का, वो change हो जाता है जब आप इस तरीके से चीजों को अपनी लाइफ में practice करते हैं. And when it changes, obviously all the other things are going to change in your life. Then how it's going to change your physical health? Supposingly you're going to go with something, let's talk about cancer or heart disease or diabetes. I have so many patients, and I haven't done anything. I have just taught them or interacted with them that how you're going to write, at least maintain a journal or diary kind of things and keep writing it. उससे आपका ब्लड प्रेशर, आई नो आपकी टैबलेट्स नहीं हटेंगी, अगर आपको हार्ट डिजीज है आपकी मेडिसिन नहीं जाएंगी, आपके ब्लड थिनर्स नहीं जाएंगे, बट इफ यू आर गोइंग टू कीप राइटिंग दैट व्हाट आज ऐसा अच्छा क्या हुआ जिससे मुझे अच्छा महसूस हुआ, certainly it is going to make your day. And when you are happy on that day, आपका ब्लड प्रेशर लेवल अपने आप डाउन हो जाएगा, आपकी ब्लड शुगर अपने आप, if not going to be fully controlled, at least stabilize. But we need to do it on the daily basis, not otherwise. क्योंकि अगर हम उसको, आई एम एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन दिस फैक्ट अगेन एंड अगेन, कि अगर हम उसको डेली नहीं करेंगे वो हैंडी नहीं हो सकता है. बहुत सारी चीजें होती हैं, जैसे फाइब्रोमाल्जिया है या स्ट्रेस है, इन्फ्लेमेशन है, पेन परसेप्शन है, स्पेशली कैंसर पेशेंट, इट इज वेरी वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर देम कि उनका जब कीमोथेरेपी होती है दैट इज वेरी पेनफुल. बट इफ वी, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि उनका कैंसर हट जाता है या कुछ हो जाता है, बट what I am emphasizing, merely developing a very small attitude that I'm still breathing, irrespective what is happening, irrespective I am in pain. This gives them the strength to fight with their pain, or to fight whatever they are going through, or whatever bad is happening in their life. And ये स्टडीज भी प्रूव करती हैं that a gratitude general literally improved their blood pressure control. And another study found that focusing on things to be grateful before bed each night increased हमारी जो pre-sleep calmness होती है उससे बहुत enhanced होती है. बहुत सारी ऐसी स्टडीज हैं, हम स्टडीज को तो यहाँ पे नहीं डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, but I'm just talking in general. And the very important thing is gratitude and recovery. I think whatever I have talked, there is nothing I'm supposed to say anything, because when you are going to cultivate this attitude in your life, you will see that when I am saying recovery, what does it really mean? It doesn't mean कि आप आपको कोई मेंटल इलनेस है, या आपको कोई मेंटल डिसऑर्डर है, या आपको कोई फिजिकल मेडिकल कंडीशन है, उससे रिकवर कर जाएंगे। कितना रिकवर करेंगे ये तो उस कंडीशन पे डिपेंड करता है। रिकवर करेंगे भी या नहीं करेंगे, आई एम नॉट श्योर, बट इट इज सर्टेनली गोइंग टू हेल्प यू इन फास्टन योर रिकवरी, एंड इट विल help you to reach there where you want to see yourself at least. And try not to compare yourself the other person, because I don't want to live my neighbor's life, I want to live my own life. And that's the most important person. We really keep forgetting ourselves कि उसके पास ये है, मेरे पास क्यों नहीं है। कभी ये तो देखो कि मेरे पास क्या है वो अगले के पास नहीं है। I have really learned it in a very hard way that if you are not in your team, you cannot be in anybody else's team. Believe me. And that is the first gratitude which I do every morning for myself, that I am with myself no matter what. So whenever somebody is saying, how are you, or most of the days now I live on myself. And the other day my birthday was, and somebody asked me, so how have you celebrated and who was there? Yeah, I was with 3 people, or with 2 people rather, I'll say. And the person asked, who was there? Your husband and your daughter, or your son, or might be your friend? I said, no, me and myself. That's how I count myself. Because until unless I'm not going to think like this, my life is going to be miserable. And it's in my hand whether I want to make it miserable or what I want to do. But this only happens when I'm going to see everything in a different light. And that what gratitude has taught me, to, to, to put things under so many different lights, under so many different drishtikon, perspective, perception. That only happens when you are going to do this. Any question here, please? Okay, so we'll go ahead. We were talking about that what are the signs of the gratitude, and Ravi ji ne बहुत ही एक अच्छा example दिया था. I would like to share some other points here, that how you can think that whether you are grateful or not. So कई बारी होता है कि यार ये तो मैं कर ही नहीं सकता, but I think हम सब अपनी लाइफ में छोटा बड़ा कम या ज्यादा हम कुछ ना कुछ ऐसा जरूर करते हैं जो इस चीज का प्रतीक है कि हम ग्रेटफुल हैं, बट शायद हम उस चीज को एक्नॉलेज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं कि हम ऑलरेडी ग्रेटफुल हैं. सो आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर जस्ट 4-5 things that you can think that you are really grateful for yourself. Like if you are spending a few moments thinking about the things your life that you're grateful, if you're doing, that means you're already following the grateful. What you need to do, you need to follow it on the daily basis. That's all what is required. Or probably stopping to observe and acknowledge the beauty or wonder of something you encounter in your daily life. I think this is the most important thing. Whether it is big or small, if you are acknowledging, you are observing, even if, believe me, even if you're not using the word grateful or how beautiful, you're just admiring or you're just looking at it, that means that moment was grateful. You have that moment of gratitude with that particular thing, and being thankful to your health, that you're getting up every day and you're drinking, you're eating, whatever you feel like doing, you're doing, and thanking someone for the positive influence they have in your life. आई थिंक हम कुछ ना कुछ थैंक यू दिन में कितनी बार लोगों को बोलते हैं, कैब ड्राइवर को बोलते हैं, या ऑफिस गए वहां पे बोलते हैं. आई होप ये हम सारी चीजें करते हैं कहीं ना कहीं, किसी ना किसी चीज के लिए तो करते ही करते हैं. और हम सुबह पूजा भी करते हैं इररिस्पेक्टिव द रिलीजन. अगर हम भगवान के सामने, खुदा के सामने, अल्लाह के सामने, जीसस के सामने, बाबा जी के सामने हाथ जोड़ते हैं, तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे अंदर वो ग्रैटिट्यूड है. It's just that we need to acknowledge in ourselves that how grateful we are already, and let's try to bring some more thing in ourselves, that how grateful we are. So we are going to talk about a few more things, that how you can really harness or cultivate more, or how you can develop this attitude a little more in your life. Like you can say every day that, let's start something like that, maintain a diary or register or notebook or just verbally, and make a group. One of my friend has taught me, I wasn't aware that person is very much here in this group at right now, and thank you. I think जब मैं ये बात करूंगी उनको समझ में आ जाएगा मैं किसके बारे में बात कर रही हूँ. She has really taught me how to be make your group with your own self, and I have started doing, and that was wonderful. So thank you, dear. And in that group, I have started sending gratitude things to myself only. I wasn't aware how to create group with my own self, really. And if you don't know, I think you will learn. If you're not aware, please learn this. So you're not sending time, क्योंकि at times कुछ चीजें हमें save करनी होती हैं, and we keep sending to our loved ones, to our daughter, to husband, और जिसको भी हम भेजते हैं कि वो चीजें सिर्फ save करनी है. But there are another ways. So if you don't have, if you don't want to write something, just verbalize or just send aloud 3 good things that happen in a day, and you can send the text to yourself only. That's another way. Even if you don't have something, you have all the things. You can maintain your journal rather than keeping a notes or something. You just keep sending something good to yourself. Say thank you to your partner, even for a cup of tea, for a glass of water, for waking you up, or just passing a smile on you. Just be thankful. These are very little and small things which are going to help you in a long way. And most important, thank yourself. That how you are really, your body is a temple. And if you are taking care of your temple, then you're doing a great thing. But we hardly give thankful to our body. हम कभी अपने पैरों को thanks नहीं बोलते, हम कभी अपने हाथों को thanks नहीं बोलते. We get tired, we just lie down, we take a pill, and that's how we move on. But हम कभी अपने आप को तो thankful सोचने की बात ही नहीं सोच सकते. Technology को हम thanks नहीं बोलते. Why not to say thanks to the fan even, or to the pillow even, or to your phone even, or the way we are talking on the Zoom. I'm really thankful for all these things, because अगर ये नहीं होता शायद हम आज इस तरीके से बातचीत नहीं कर सकते. Be thankful that you are savoring some good moments with your friend, with your loved ones, and always check the silver lining. कोई बात नहीं अगर आप उस समय उस मोमेंट्स में नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं. Make a note. Send voicemail to yourself. Keep a journal. Note down somewhere and just try to decipher it at a later time, that what is behind that. Because there must be something, even if it is the worst moments of yours. Probably in that moment, you're not into your senses. Give yourself some time. Let it simmer down. And then reflect it back again. Because if you're going to reflect it, I'm more than 100% sure that you're going to see this, that how it is helping you. And look what inward. थोड़ा अंदर भी देखें, हम अंदर ही देखें अच्छा है, but कभी कभी बाहर की अच्छाइयों से भी हम इंस्पायर हो जाते हैं. जो आसपास हो रहा होता है, कभी कभी कुछ दूसरे लोग ही ऐसा अच्छा काम कर रहे होते हैं जिससे हमें लगता है ओ आई नीड टू डू सम, यार आई मस्ट डू समथिंग बिकॉज दिस इज रियली ग्रेट. अगर दूसरा कर रहा है और एंड द पर्सन इज डूइंग इन सच अ स्माइलिंग वे, वो हमारे अंदर कहीं ना कहीं एक क्वेश्चन मार्क छोड़ जाता है. ओ देयर वाज समथिंग जो उसको अच्छा लगा, दैट मींस आई एम टू गोइंग टू फील गुड इफ आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट टू. And certainly it is going to change your perspective, no doubt. So just keep writing and keep saying. And the very important thing is reflection. I say it to all my clients and to all the people, this is the ultimate thing. Even if you're going to do by the end of the day, think of a time when you really felt grateful for something. It can be anything, anybody, anytime. Remember what you felt, how you felt, what were the feeling, what were the emotions which you have experienced in those moments. Have you responded? Have you reacted? What was the right thing? What you were needed, not much, should, must, and ought. Please slide should, must, and ought if you're really going to develop and if you're really interested in harnessing and cultivating this thing. What I need to do. And in our ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give, and that it is only with the gratitude that lives becomes rich. So if there are any question, you are most welcome. I'll end the session here, but I would like to read a poem here that be thankful that you don't already have everything what you desire. If you did, what would there be to look forward to? So be grateful. Be thankful when you don't know something, for it allows you to learn. So be grateful that you don't know, and I'm willing to learn at whatever stage I am. Be thankful for the difficult times. During those times, you grow, and that's the silver lining. That's the perspective. Be thankful for your limitation because they give you opportunities for improvement, for self improvement, for motivation, for going ahead, for moving forward in your life. And be thankful for each new challenges in your life which are coming all the time, because it will build your strength and character. Be thankful for your mistakes. They will teach you valuable lessons. Be thankful when you are tired and weary, because it means you have made a difference. It is easy to be thankful for the good things. A life of rich fulfillment come to those who are also thankful for the setback, because pain has its own beauty. I know when a person is going through something and I'm saying a pain has its own beauty, probably it's not going to make sense to that particular person in those moments. But otherwise, it certainly makes sense that how beautiful it is, because butterfly भी बहुत painful process से निकलती है and then it transforms into butterfly. So just always think about it. Thank you for hearing me out. I'm so grateful. And if there are any more questions, please, you're most welcome. And I hope I have made some sense. I know today's topic is like that. Probably there are many more questions, but it's
So
still.
I have one question.
Yes, dear.
Sometimes, when we talk about gratitude, there's ample of gratitude that what you are having and in your life. But sometimes, like for example, for the physical, comforts of life and all. But example, if your spouse is providing that, you have ample of gratitude for the universe to provide that, and you know that you are grateful. But sometimes you're not able to have that kind of gratitude for the provider of the family. How do we, correct this? Or is it okay?
No, no.
Like I always feel that there is a higher source that gives you everything in life.
That's very true, dear. But what we can do here that, first of all, जब हमारा प्रोवाइडर ही कई बारी इस तरीके की चीजें होती हैं लाइफ में कि हमें पता है that I cannot survive without these things and this person is providing so many things to me, but somehow we don't have a good relationship, or I don't want to rely on him, or probably there was some sort of things, conflict between you and the provider, and something happened like that. It is very, very, very difficult to have a good vibes or have a good intention for the person, but still we can carry the attitude of gratitude that irrespective for all of these things, whatever has happened, at least is still I'm getting those things. So I'm thankful for that. Good, bad, ugly. No doubt they are there. At times we need to carry those basket with ourselves just so that we can understand the situation, the person, or whatever is going through in your life or in someone else's life in general. I'm saying, keep aside those baskets of good, bad, ugly, and just accept the person as a human. That this is the human who is providing me so many things and I'm grateful for. Who is he? That's a different story. That is difficult, I know that, but that can be developed if we are going to work it on consistently on the daily basis. That certainly can be developed, because if I can develop, anybody else can develop. So just take it, him or her or whosoever is, as a human. I'm not saying to, because if we'll talk about here, I think the forgiveness is a very important thing. And before forgiveness, compassion is a very important thing is here, which we are not talking, but I think we need to talk about these issues more often rather than anything else. क्योंकि हमारी जितनी भी ये mental, I mean जो एडवांस चीजें हैं, mental illnesses, उनको छोड़ दें, but जो normal anxiety, depression, OCD, bipolar, to some extent I'll say psychotic behavior also, if until unless there are not neuro wala hai, that is different. They can be handled if we are going to learn about more about the compassion, how we can develop compassion for ourselves and how we can develop the compassion for others. Then we can certainly learn these things, and then obviously, and when we are going to learn those things, the attitude of gratitude, you are carrying it with yourself. It's वो उसके अंदर में ही है, वो आप उसको अलग से नहीं रख सकते, that this is gratitude. Because you must be doing, like when I was talking about the sign of the gratitude, you must be doing. I'm sure that you are doing, but somehow क्योंकि हमें पता नहीं होता है कि हम वाकई थैंक यू, क्योंकि हमें लगता है जब तक हम हाथ जोड़ के थैंक यू नहीं बोलते हैं या 50 बार थैंक यू नहीं बोलते तब तक हम ग्रेटफुल नहीं होते. नो, इवन इफ यू हैव हैड अ, सिर्फ प्यार से देखा भी आपने, वो अपने आप में वही ग्रेटिट्यूड है एक्चुअली. दैट हाउ ब्यूटीफुल, और मतलब it's not something for the beauty, it's not the admiration, but it's the appreciation, it's the acknowledgement of anybody's effort in any way. So I hope, Sangeeta, it makes sense to you, dear.
Yeah, yes.
It can be developed. It will take time. I'm not saying it can be developed overnight, but it can be developed certainly. But हमें उसके लिए कुछ चीजों को slide करना होगा. That's all what we need. Anybody else, please? It's okay, then I think people don't have any questions. So. You're welcome, dear. Yes, Asha, you can take the lead, or Vabhavi, whosoever is going to do that. But if you would like, Asha, just a moment, but if you would like to learn about something, compassion and all these things, please let us know so that we can arrange something. At least I would love to do something in this regard. Yes, Asha, please go ahead.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out the time and addressing this whole gratitude issue. I mean, as you said in the beginning, that we keep listening about gratitude, and yeah, we should be thankful, we should be grateful, and it's a good thing to do, but we don't really think about how it works for us or how it actually works. And I think that is really important when we are trying to practice gratitude, because unless we have an aim, or unless we know how it's going to benefit us, it sometimes becomes really difficult to go on with it. And especially, I think we have a much better idea now. And I really loved the poem that you said at the last, that be, and the very first sentence, like, be grateful that you do not have everything with you, or else there's nothing to look forward to. I think that just flips the whole perspective about the whole, I don't have enough, I don't have enough opportunities, or I am not enough, or my limitations are holding me back. I think that is something we really need to take into perspective. And thank you so much for such an insightful session. I would also like to thank our participants for joining in today and listening to this webinar and also being interactive. And if you have missed any part of it, we will be sending you the recording of this webinar within the next week. So thank you so much for attending, and I think we can end the session.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.